Hi, my name is TJ Riley, and I'm going to be persuading you guys on the importance of sustainable clothing and how it's good for the environment and our earth. A lot of you people don't know, but the clothing industry is not exactly good for the earth, and it takes a tremendous toll, and it's more than just harming animals for leather goods or bags and coats, etc. There's a thing called fast fashion, and it's on the rise. It is no friend to the environment. The excessive textile production needed to keep up with fast fashion results in overwhelming CO2 and greenhouse gas emissions. In addition to polluting the air, it also pollutes the water. It takes 2,700 liters of water to make a single cotton shirt. The production and distribution of crops, fibers, and garments used in fashion all contribute to differing forms of environmental pollution, including water, air, and soil pollution. Some of the main factors that contribute to this industrial caused pollution are the vast overproduction of fashion items, the use of synthetic fibers, and the agricultural pollution of crops such as silk, wool, and cotton. The amount of new garments being made since the 1960s has tripled since then. People are making and buying clothes more than ever, and most of the time the clothes are just going to end up in the trash after a few years and months, etc. So what a lot of people don't know is that the synthetic dye from the clothes alone is harming the earth more than you know. During the coloration process, there is a large percent of the dye that does not bind into the fabric, and it's lost in the water, streaming into oceans, rivers, water banks, anything like that. Approximately 10 to 15% of dyes are released into the environment during the dyeing process, making the effluent highly colored and aesthetically unpleasant. Each year, the world as a whole consumes 80 million pieces of clothing. That is a lot of clothing. People are consuming more, and they want it for cheaper prices. So there's brands that are just making clothes as fast as possible, not thinking about the environment, not thinking about the pollution around them. They just want that profit. This is what's called fast fashion. And sadly, there is also an increase of clothing being made without natural materials such as cotton, wool, and silk. Now there is a switch from natural fibers to inexpensive synthetic textile fibers such as polyester or nylon. I know all you guys have heard of polyester. It's everywhere. It's in 60% of garments in retail stores. And it just keeps increasing. It's going to keep on getting bigger and bigger. Synthetic polyester is made from chemical reaction of coal, petroleum, air, and water. When coal is burned, it creates heavy amounts of air pollution containing carbon dioxide, and petroleum is used, it creates several air pollutants. The fashion garment industry has an extreme toll on the environment, and most people are unaware, and it is time for a change. You might be asking, what is this change? The change is sustainable fashion. So, thanks to sustainable fashion, we get less dependent on imported raw materials. We are able to create eco-friendly industries and jobs. Brands who are eco-friendly benefit a better public image. And sustainable fashion means that the quality of the clothing is just going to be better itself. It's also cruelty-free for animals. So all you animal lovers. It benefits the planet in more ways than one. In this world, we are supposed to be constantly benefiting and evolving and making lives better and improving, and not just making things easier, but better. And with kind of fashion, we're kind of going down a slope and we're trying to make things better and easier, but not necessarily better for the environment or just for the long run. Just for easier stuff to make more money. Sustainable clothes, they are nicer quality items. No rough, uncomfortable fabrics or cheap, easily ripped or torn clothing. If we had a serious change in heart and made the switch to 100% sustainable clothing, the results would be immaculate. In order to make a change, there has to want to be a change. You might be thinking there's not a whole bunch you can do because you're not mass producing thousands of shirts a week or a day or whatever, but you can do a lot more than you think. It starts by shopping at Goodwill and secondhand vintage shops, like just as long as just a resale shop, you know. It's not gross, okay? They're washed, the shirts are in good condition, you know, a lot of the times, okay? But that saves huge. I mean, one shirt is 2,700 liters of water. If you buy a shirt that's already been made, you're saving 2,700 liters of water. Some other ways that I would recommend are donating to thrift shops. Like, if you have clothes, don't throw them away. You know, you don't wear them, don't throw them away. Let's donate, let's gift them, let's get them to Goodwills, let's get them to thrift stores, all that stuff, okay? I would really recommend researching brands, and it's important to for those brands that are sustainable and doing the right thing and thinking about our environment. I think it's only fair that we give them the time of day and that we support. Last but not least, probably the easiest and the most fun, DIY. Literally do it yourself. If your pants rip, put a patch over them. You know, if there's a hole in them, put a patch over it. You know, their clothing, they're made, just because they rip does not mean it's ruined, okay? There's so much you can do with clothing. There's so much you can cut it in half. You can turn pants into shorts, anything, okay? So as long as that, this is a time where sustainable clothing has never been more important. We should be doing everything that we can to help this planet and Earth be healthy for years to come. Thank you so much.